Well, hey gang, how you doing? This is Will Moore, your host for Somewhere in America, and today I am bringing you to a unscripted, behind-the-scenes street photography at Kemah Boardwalk in hot Texas. And I'm telling you guys, it was hot. And so, I can't describe how hot it was, but the heat really didn't bother me because I used to live in Texas, so I'm cool with it. Here I'm at Kemah Boardwalk right here, and so what I decided to do is that I decided to do some street photography and to utilize one of my new toys, it's new to me, old to you, which is the Sony A7III, paired up with an adapter and with my Canon 50mm 1.8 lens, which I thought the Nifty 50 would be great for doing street photography because it allowed me to be non-intrusive. People didn't really pay attention to me, and I could get the shots that I want, and I could really see what this camera can do. Here I'm taking pictures of my family, my son and his wife, and my grandson right there, always showboating. That is Junior, Brandon Jr., always showboating. And so had a really good time with this, my granddaughter. With her little afro puffs, and got a smile that will light up the world. She is just fantastic. I love her. Always keep me laughing and just always inquisitive. Love her grandpa. Here I'm shooting, just shooting around while my son isn't talking. That's an image of my granddaughter right there. Just caught her just looking out like that. I don't know what she was staring at. Thought it was a great profile look. Got another one of her right here. Just loving the warm tones. And just so you guys know, what I'm utilizing to actually edit these images is the presets from Visual Flow. Visual Flow, if you look at SLR Lounge with Pi Jerser, he talks a lot about them and how to set up your camera so that these type of presets, which they're the most, I don't even buy presets, but I bought these because they actually work. They actually work. They work great with your camera if you know how to set your camera up. And that's very important because I set my camera up with a neutral palette so that whatever preset that I apply it to. Now the difference with these presets, and I'm not trying to go on rant about these presets because we're talking about the A7 III, but how they work so well with my camera and with the work that I'm doing is that these presets are designed for the particular lighting condition, not a look you're going for, but a particular lighting condition. So if it's back lid or front lid, or if it's on the wedding floor, up lights, it works well with that. Loved how I was able to stand back and get very sharp images of the subject that people was there.
Where y'all was at?
Something about street photography that I always like to let everybody know is that it was the first genre of photography that I started out with.
Let me show you
right here, I'm having, because I've even done this on street photography where I've had people pose for me. This is my granddaughter, Rihanna, who is a fantastic baker. If you go to Instagram, it is Riri's, I think Riri's Cakes or Riri's something. I'll link the description in. I'll link her Instagram page below, as well as my daughter-in-law, who is a vlogger. And also she's a YouTuber as well,
Bring your chin
with
down.
Yvonne Moore Events.
Go ahead and give me that look again.
Yvonne Moore Events. She hates getting in front of the camera, and so I wanted to take a picture of her because she's beautiful. She's just fantastic. So later on in the
what is that?
video here, she actually takes some images herself. I put her behind the camera. I said, maybe you're not really good in front of the camera. You don't want to sit in front. Maybe you'd be great standing behind the camera. So a lot of times I like getting young people. I thought this was a great image right here of this young lady who she was shooting these bubbles. There's a big thing now. These little machines, with the battery powered, that just blows the bubbles out, so kids don't actually have to wait to blow with their breath. They can just use this and it just continues to blow bubbles.
Oh, you all right.
Thought it'd be a great image to take right here. I love when I see little kids like this that are just dog tired. They're on daddy's shoulders and they found a great resting place. So it is just it for them.
You go all the way back there?
So you could be, it ain't no hole, it could be a hole.
We're walking right now because we're actually looking for a particular restaurant, which is the Bubba Gump Shrimp restaurant.
Oh,
And we knew it was going to be a wait, and we knew it was going to be crowded. So it was like an hour and 15-minute wait, which seemed a lot longer, and you'll see why, because
Oh, see, I like street
with this video is going to go into the evening, and that's when we finally decided to go back and check and see what's going on with our food. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but since COVID, that the restaurants have been plentiful tables, very few servers, and that's the reason why your waits have actually been longer, because they have a lot of tables. They told us down there, but very few servers. Also, what I love about places like Kimo Boardwalk and places like this is that they always have street performers. Street performers are great to actually see what your camera can actually do as far as catching motion, as far as putting it maybe on a tripod, dragging the shutter. These were just great images. I took some images down low, even had her, my granddaughter, I believe one of these images is my granddaughter's, and she did a fantastic job with it. So I just kind of mixed them up in there and kind of let her see what she had did, and she was like really, really smiling, like, wow, thanks, Pop, I did it. Thanks for letting me use your camera. I got down low like this because, as you know, the A7 III with all of the Sony cameras have the tilt screen, and tilt screen is all right. My daughter-in-law has a flip out screen that can actually tilt everything, and that's what I like about that. I think the A9 has the screen that can flip out too. I'm not very sure. I don't have an A9. I haven't spent any money on A9. I'm not going to spend any money on A9, so that's why I don't know. But this camera shooting at 24 frames per second at a full frame camera. The sensor was, the BSI sensor was just fantastic. 10 frames per second with tracking. The tracking was awesome on this. So like I never missed a shot, and that's what I loved about it. It was like all of my shots were like crystal clear. It had 5-axis stabilization in the body, which I just love that. And if you pair it up with a lens that has stabilization, you're just in hog heaven. I didn't deal with the 4K or any HDR videoing. I didn't do any videoing with videography with this camera at all. Although I've heard that it is fantastic. I'll probably go ahead and deal with that later on and see how that works out. Here I'm at the dock, and I wanted to get an HDR image of this particular sailboat going by. So I took 5 images versus the 3 that most people take.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do this as a.
I love taking the 5 images. This lady she was standing there looking at me, wondering what I was doing, and so she decided to ask, questions because she can hear me talking. I was talking to my son.
Yeah, I am.
She asked me what was going on. And that's the image right there. That's the final image. Did a fantastic job. All of my HDR images I actually took into Lightroom, and the Lightroom does a great job with combining your images. But I didn't really do anything as far as maybe the white balance, but then I took them over into Aurora Express. Not just Aurora, but Aurora Express, which Aurora Express will only handle JPEGs. So by me saving the image, it was a JPEG, and I was able to go ahead and do some things to it and get it the way I like it, the image. I like HDR, but I like HDR on the normal tip. I don't like it just overdone, even though a lot of people do that. I don't want that. I want it to look nice. Here I'm grabbing images. I saw these 2 girls right here. They were taking selfies, and I thought that was kind of cool to catch that shot of them. Just a lot of great imagery when you're doing street photography. I want to catch this close-up image of my son, which, as you know, 50 mil, you're able to get a little closer. And watch this detail of him. I'm sitting here playing around. Look at the detail in his face. Just really, just the detail was just great. Something about street photography that I want to mention that a lot of people always stray away from. I have friends of mine that are photographers, and that they do a lot of portraiture, or they do a lot of beauty and fashion, but they don't do any street photography. I encourage every photographer to do street photography and to at least get out there and try it once, because what it does is that, you deal with composition, lighting, subject matter, angles, you name it, all in a split second, because it's that particular whatever that person and subject matter is doing or the person is doing, it's never going to happen again. So you like to catch it. And these if you master these techniques, they translate over well with event photography, even with your models. As you're telling your models to go ahead and your models are moving and they're doing different things, you're able to start catching these images. It's just really a good genre. Coming up right here, as I did another HDR of this doc. This image is right here of the people that I was just talking to. Took them in black and white, wanted to blow out the sky, wanted to just concentrate on them. Then I wanted to do them in silhouette, and I wanted to see what this camera would do as far as cutting out those images in silhouette. But this doc right here, I shot this doc handheld. The shutter is so fast on the Sonys anyway, so that I was able to do five bracketed shots with no problem, just handheld. But then I came back and I just used my tripod because I just wanted to be able to just take it. And this is the tripod image actually here. HDR, not overdone, pretty nice. Colors are just really commercially, and I like that. Wanted to catch these people right here. I thought this was fantastic. There's an image coming up, not this one is coming up next, but another image coming up where I actually did an HDR with these people that were standing by, and I thought it did pretty good. The only reason why I wanted to do it because I wanted to capture them as well as the sun that was behind them. Those are actually not the people there, but they came a little later. It was two young ladies. They stood by this lamppost. What I'm taking a shot of right now is the lamppost. That's a particular image that I didn't get to get in here, but I thought it was really nice to be able to pull out the blue sky.
What you doing? Oh, just making sure we got
That's the couple. That's the two girls I was talking about. And as you can look in the distance, you see that sun going down. I mean, without HDR, you would have never captured that like that. And I think that worked out well. I want to kind of speed it up here because I'm going to head down the boardwalk. Because even though it looks a little lighter there, guys, as you notice, the sun has already gone down. Kima Boardwalk didn't look like this years ago when I used to live there. And I left in 2003, and it didn't look like this at all. It was a lot smaller. It was really, they hadn't really developed it very, very much. But now it is really developed. They have all these restaurants and rides for the kids. A lot of, they have a midway, which is fantastic. I mean, just great. But where I'm walking at now, I'm going down the stairs. You'll see these train tracks. They always had that there. But I never ever noticed this little staging area and where they have the water fountains over here with the kids. And you'll see images of with those kids that I shot later on. Right here, the girl is singing a song by Selena. Everybody loves Selena in Texas. And I remember when she passed, when she tragically killed. I was there, living there, and it was very, very sad. I mean, she was the gift. She was a gift to Texas. Beautiful young lady, had a beautiful voice. And but these images were fantastic right here. Now, something I wanted to try also with this camera because I wanted to see how it dealt with high ISOs. I actually took the camera and put it on automatic ISO. I would never ever shoot that way with an automatic ISO. But I remember hearing Tony Northrup talk about shooting with keeping his camera that he keeps it on automatic ISO. And I'm telling you, it actually did very, very well. Performed very, very well with automatic ISO, even all the way up to 12,000. That was grain, but the image was still sharp enough, or just with decent clarity that it came out real well. Great images here. I like the way it's handling the color. Again, these are being developed with visual flow packs. I actually own the Modern, I own the Pastel, I own the Crush, and I haven't purchased the black and white one yet. I'm going to get that one. But these, like I said, these presets work well because they deal with the lighting conditions. They don't deal with a particular look you're trying to go for. They deal with the lighting conditions. Once you get these presets, and you can play with them however you want, but these presets are great because all you'll have to deal with is the white balance, and you'll deal with the white balance. My son, right, my grandson, he wanted to do a lot. He's dancing, and so I didn't get any images really of him, but I just got a little video of him. Because I'm heading over here to where the kids were with the water. But getting back to the visual flow, it deals a lot with they deal with the lighting conditions, and that's what I like about the presets. That whatever the lighting conditions is, whether it's dusk, whether it's blue hour, golden hour, whatever, inside, indoors with a flash, it really works very well. If you set up your camera the way your camera is supposed to be set up. And I think I'm going to do a real quick video on how you should be setting your camera up. Pi Jersa did it, which is fantastic, because your camera actually, when it comes out of the box, it's not set up right. It's saying that I'm going to show you what I want to show you, like Pi would say. And when I began to set my camera on a neutral palette, I'm telling you, it was fantastic. It worked out very well, and it allows me to apply these visual flow presets and get exactly what I want. The images of these kids that were playing in the water are coming up right here. Again, you guys, you see all this light. It looks dark. It looks light where you can see things, but I'm telling you, it's dark out there. And this is what utilizing the Crush visual flow preset. The images just came out fantastic. I love what I'm seeing. Did a fantastic job on these. Fantastic job. More images of the kids playing. Again, shooting at auto ISO. And I'm telling you guys, I really enjoyed it. This camera also has a dual SD slot, which, you know, I'm not a big person that pushes dual slots. Technology hasn't changed, and I don't think I need 2 slots, even though, hey, if you want it, it's there. It's great. They vastly improved the battery life. That's what I loved. I was able to still shooting with the same batteries all day, just like my Canon, and I had no problems. There was no more of this batteries running out. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this unscripted behind the scenes of street photography of Kemah Boardwalk in Hot, Texas. And I'm telling you guys, it was in the 90s there. Hey, as I always say, guys, if you can't say anything nice to anybody or do anything nice to anybody, do what? Stick a shoe in your mouth and keep it moving. Also, some of the music in this, I want to give a shout out to my son that you saw them shooting. He actually is a producer. He's a musician. He did some of the music in this video, and I am so proud of him because he's fantastic. Kemah Boardwalk was a great place. I took this last shot as we was getting ready to leave on F22. That's why you see the little starburst. Fantastic. Caught it, said goodbye, and that was about it. Other than that, guys, God bless you. Talk with you later. Hey, don't forget to go and check out Amazon, my new book, Faces and Shades of Grey. I'm telling you, it's a great book. Real cute read, comical. You'll enjoy it. God bless y'all. Talk with you later into the next video, where I'll be somewhere in America doing something. I don't know, some city. God bless y'all. Talk with you later. Bye-bye.